Music sounds better on 103.2 Dublin City FM.
Now that was the Drums with Let's Go Surfing. Now, on a shocking turn of events this morning, I'm going to talk about sport. I think we're all aware of Dervler work in Barcelona at the European Championships, winning silver and that made the headlines. But it also turns out that Irish sporting success was underfoot in Germany, where more than 100 Irish athletes took part in the Gay Games, taking home an impressive tally of medals across several disciplines. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Gay Games take place every 4 years, and last week Cologne, Germany hosted the 2010 Gay Games, and over 10,000 men and women from 70 countries took part. Now in their 8th edition, this year's Games featured over 30 sports, with everything from basketball to diving, bridge to swimming, and squash to water polo. It was founded in 1982. The Gay Games promote the principles of participation, inclusion and personal best. The Gay Games, unlike the Olympic Games, enable people from all walks of life to compete against each other regardless of skill level, age or physical challenge. Now, to learn more about this year's Games, I'm joined this morning by Joe Rudi, who brought home a silver medal in the badminton doubles in Cologne. Good morning, Joe, and thank you for talking to us this morning.
You're very welcome, Emer.
Firstly, congratulations on winning silver at the Games. You must be pleased, are you?
Reasonably, yes. Would have preferred gold, obviously, but
that's a good competitive spirit.
Oh yes.
So that was a bit of an intro about the Games itself, but can you tell me more specifically about Team Ireland? Who are you guys, or how many of you are there?
Well, in total there were probably over 100 athletes and competitors went to Cologne from Ireland. Some people from Irish extraction, but living in England and other places, but identified as Irish. From all over the country, basically, including Northern Ireland, but some of them want to be known as Irish. So it's been growing over the last few years. Gay sport has really only sort of woken up in Ireland in the last 2-3 years. There's a few organisations have regular gay events. So it's still in its infancy in this country.
Yeah, fantastic. And what kind of sports were you guys playing, or what did you win medals in?
Well, obviously myself and my badminton partner, we won in the badminton, but there were also medals in tennis, in swimming, men's and women's, in cycling, in triathlon, in the track, in bridge. I'm not even sure yet of the full total, but as far as I know, there's over 35 medals in total.
Yeah, I heard that as well. It's a fantastic tally. It's a really great result for Ireland on the international stage.
Very good average.
And how do you get into the Games? Do you enter or do you have to qualify?
No, there's no qualification necessary as such. It's up to just individuals. If they want to participate, they register and they enter themselves. Some of the events will be limited in terms of the numbers of people they can actually cater for. So it's a matter of getting in before the last minute rush to make sure you actually get into the event. Then the events themselves, depending on the nature of the event, they may be broken down into different categories of different levels. For example, the racket sports, the tennis, squash and badminton, there are different levels. So there are levels for social players, intermediate players, more advanced players and top level tournament players. So you register for what you think is the right level for your level of ability and competition. And then if you end up in the wrong level, usually what they'll do is they'll reclassify you. If they think you're obviously too strong for a level, they'll move you up. Or if you're really struggling too badly, they'll move you down. In the swimming and the athletics, the way that it's broken down is it's done in age categories. So in sort of 5-year age gaps, so 18 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34. So you could be racing with lots of other people in your heat of different age groups, but you're against the clock, and overall then the medals are awarded in each category based on the times in the individual age groups.
So fantastic. So there's really something for everyone, isn't there? Whether or not you're there for the kind of participation and the personal best, or if you're out to win.
Everybody is there to compete and to do their best, obviously. But like having fun and enjoying it is obviously a major part of it as well.
Yeah, it just sounds like a really great kind of inclusive experience, and there's really obviously some top athleticism going on, but also it seems to not just invite people from the gay and lesbian community, but also their friends, their family, anyone that feels connected to the scene as well.
Absolutely, yes. Although it's called the Gay Games, you don't have to be gay to enter. And I actually met a couple of guys from Utah who met one guy on a water polo team who was gay, and his brother and his best friend came along with him and also swam on the team in competition, even though they're straight. But they wanted to be a part of his experience, so they joined him and his team. So like it's a very friendly, all-inclusive atmosphere. You know, it is really very, very good atmosphere overall.
Yeah, it sounds really, really great. And I was talking to you about your experience at the Games, and you've been going since 1998. Have you?
I might call me an old hand, all right. Yeah.
Your experience, but you have, obviously the Games have been huge since 1988. I mean, I know you were telling me Sydney was a massive Games, but coming from Ireland with Team Ireland, has there been a big rise in Irish competitors?
A huge growth in the number of people travelling from Ireland. My first experience was in Amsterdam in '98, and there was no sort of central coordination from Ireland. There was no sort of sense of a Team Ireland. Everybody just did their own thing. And you found yourself at the opening or closing ceremony, all right, meeting other people, because the organisers, when you're marching in, the same as an Olympics, you march in country order, and the organising the host country have placards or whatever with your country name on it, and you march in behind that. So you find yourself meeting people from your country you didn't even know were there. But now, so like the first time in Amsterdam, I think there were probably maybe 25 people there from Ireland that I met at the opening and closing ceremonies, to growing gradually year on year to this year over 100 people. You know, so it's been a huge development, and now we actually have a couple of umbrella organisations in Ireland. One guy is very, very proactive and has set up a couple of different things under the Out in Ireland website. There are different sports categories, so we have out for tennis, in for squash. He also has a rowing group, and there's also a badminton group. So you know, and it's growing every year in terms of the number of people who are participating in regular, like, I mean, just get-togethers. Like, I mean, we have a sort of a monthly squash get-together, and there's a regular badminton get-together, and they're organising coaching, and the tennis players are getting coaching now as well. So it's still in its infancy, but it's growing rapidly.
Yeah, you can really see kind of I think a community growing. I mean, if you check out outinireland.net, it's a really great website that's got all the links to all the different sports you mentioned. Or I saw the Dublin Devils FC.com, which is of course the Dublin Football Club up here. And there's definitely a lot of places for people to get involved if they want to get involved in sport, you know, through the gay community. It's fantastic. But
yeah, definitely. And there are also, like, for example, the Emerald Warriors is a gay rugby team, and they've been very successful. They hosted the Gay Rugby World Cup here in Ireland last year, the Bingham Cup.
Oh, fabulous! I didn't know that.
Yeah. Rugby isn't one of the sports in the Gay Games, so like there was no representation from them there, you know. But there were two of the gay soccer teams, and there was a lesbian team from Cork playing soccer as well. Like, I mean, you know, so there's lots of sports involved.
And all this talk of all the different sports and teams, particularly for the Gay Games, looking at such a big operation, it really sounds like an expensive endeavour. How do you guys work it? Do you get sponsorship? Are you self-funded?
Well, basically, each individual sort of has to look after their own expenses in terms of, you know, there is a registration expense, like, I mean, because obviously it's a major expense to run an event like this in terms of logistics and people on the ground and organisation, and, you know, and hardware and equipment and hire of venues and whatnot. Yeah. But in terms of then transport and accommodation, you know, each individual looks after themselves. We've been very lucky. Frank, one of the guys who's sort of the head of coordinating the Team Ireland thing, is a very good man with approaching businesses with business plans. So we got Ryanair and Tourism Ireland on board this year, and they put up some sponsorship money, so we were able to pay for our kit. We had nice printed shirts with Team Ireland, which got a lot of positive attraction from all the people in Germany.
Oh, very good.
So we looked quite smart marching in. So that helps enormously. Like, I mean, you know, to even just the fact that everybody's wearing the sort of same kit, like it helps to bond and create a sort of a team atmosphere, you know. So
boost morale, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. And it just seems like it looks like so much fun, but also such a kind of a strong competitive thing as well. A great way for people to get involved in sport as well, I think. And it seems as well that it's really raising the profile for gay athletes in Ireland. I mean, you've got Donald Cusack of Cork, you know, coming out in the GAA and making a really great example, and now you guys are flying the flag as well. It seems like things are turning a corner.
Oh, they have definitely. Donal O coming out, I think was a huge milestone. Probably didn't get the recognition on a global scale that it deserved because it wouldn't be understood the significance of it in a country like this and the nature of the GAA being a very old conservative organisation, and also the fact that he came out while he was still competing and still playing and having to face his teammates and his competitors, on a week-in, week-out basis. I think it was phenomenal. There was on a global scale, there's still very few world-class athletes who have come out. One of the exceptions would be Matthew Mitchum from Australia, who's an Olympic gold medalist diver, and he came out a few years ago, and he was one of the patrons of the Gay Games, and he was there at the opening ceremony and he spoke, and I think he's very good for raising the profile on a global scale because he's still competing at the Olympics at top class level, and he is openly out. Unfortunately, I think up to now most sort of sports people only come out when they've finished their careers.
Yeah, when they're retired.
So I think the whole thing of Donal O coming out while he's still playing is huge, and I think it'll be enormous for the gay community in Ireland.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic kind of watershed for Ireland. But Joe, unfortunately, we're running out of time here. But thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us, Joe Rudi of Team Ireland. And congratulations again on your silver medal, and best of luck. I believe next on the agenda is the Euro Games in Rotterdam, and then it's on to Cleveland in 2014 for the Gay Games again. Thanks for speaking to us, and best of luck with your further training.